Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of SureTalks where we bring in industry experts to deep dive us into the world of verification, fraud prevention and Fintech. Today we have very exciting guest with us, Mr. Abhishek Kumar, the Chief Business Officer at Surepass. If you have ever gone through the online verification process, you must know how critical it is to get the data right. But what exactly goes behind the scenes? We will touch on that. We will even touch on the hot topics which are going around like DPDP and deepfake fraud. Well, Abhishek Kumar is here to tell us everything we need to know about that. So let's deep dive into it. So welcome to the podcast, sir. For those who might not be familiar with Surepass, could you give a quick intro of what Surepass does and what problem does it exactly solve?
Okay, so Surepass is one of the leading company in ID verification and onboarding. So we started around 6 years back, and now we are one of the top companies who provides 250 plus APIs like Aadhaar, PAN, DL, voter ID, KYC, income verification, employment verification, etc. Currently, this solution is being used by more than 2,000 plus clients. We have clients like IDFC First Bank, J&K Bank, Airtel Payments Bank. We have Paytm, Zomato, Ola, Uber, etc. So like when it comes to like the ID verification, people often thinks, okay, it will help us to verify Aadhaar, it will help us to verify driving license, etc. So it's not just about verification. We help them reduce the drop-offs as well. We help them to like ease their onboarding journey. We help them to become more compliant as per RBI, SEBI, etc. So that's a quick gist of like what Surepass is.
Okay, so you stated about onboarding. So when we talk about onboarding is the main touch point when it comes to business and customers,
Definitely.
right? But it is not always usually smooth. So can you tell us about the challenges with business face when it comes to onboarding new customers?
Okay, so there aren't any specific problems in onboarding for everyone, like not generalized problems. So each business has a different problem. For example, when it comes to bank, their main problem is reducing the onboarding time while staying compliant with the RBI norms. So that is one. On the other hand, if we talk about the new age startups like crypto, etc., there the main issue is that to reduce the drop off, because that is a new product. So there, like they have to like reduce the time of the user onboarding. For example, if it is taking 5 minutes to onboard, the user might not onboard. But if it takes 30 seconds, the person is ready to try out new. The person is already trying out something new. Crypto is new in India, so they are already trying something new. On the other hand, in bank, even if the onboarding is a little longer, it takes half an hour or 1 hour, the person will stay there and he will oblige with all the conditions of the bank, because the person is there and the banking system has been there for centuries. So for each and every different business, the onboarding challenges, etc., they are completely different. And it doesn't matter, like I gave you an example of bank, I gave you an example of a crypto company. Similarly, there are gaming companies. So there the onboarding issue is that in few states they are banned, in 5 states, specifically in Karnataka, etc. So their onboarding, they have to make it smooth, while being stringent that they do not allow the people from other states, the banned states, to come in. So like this, these are three different examples that I have given you where the businesses face different problems.
So you have been a key part in building and scaling Surepass. So would you like to share us some examples or some few lessons which you have learned from your journey?
Okay, so like the major issue, like I've been there since the start. So in the last 6 years, we have seen a lot of changes into the compliance, etc. So what we have to do is that we have to scale. We have to scale rapidly. In that case, we have to keep on adding new APIs. We have to keep on fetching more data to like help other companies stay compliant, as well as to reduce the drop-offs and do a lot of other things. So the main issue here has been with the regulatory entities. For example, RBI, like every year they launched 10 different new compliances. Similarly, few are launched by SEBI and few others are launched by UDI or Protein, etc., etc. So each and every company who is under some regulatory body, they keep on facing new compliance issues. So for example, we started like 6 years back, we started with 10 compliances. Till they have increased tenfolds. Now we have 100 plus compliances. So what happens is that when these new compliances come, one of the opportunities is created, one new opportunity is created. Like for example, there was one for Aadhaar PAN link check, then one for MNRL, then the departments, they launched Sarsai. Under Sarsai, they launched CKYC. It was another opportunity for us, and it's one of our great products. So in such cases, we are able to add more products to us. But the thing is that while adding these, we have to make sure that we are completely compliant, that our end client will be completely compliant. So we have to always be on our toes to integrate these in a speedy manner while being compliant. So this is the main thing that we have been like sticking to till the start till now. Now, other than this compliance etc. issue, so what happens is that sometimes there are few compliances because of which we have to stop few services as well. So those are the few downtimes as well. So like the compliances can bring us more opportunities and can cause losses to us sometimes as well. So that's all about like how we have been scaling etc. compliances. Yeah.
Okay. So when we talk about deep fake fraud and identity spoofing, so they are the real concerns. So what's your take on that, and how do they impact user verification?
Yeah, so like these have been launched recently for the last 1.5 2 years. Earlier, deepfakes were particularly being used by either the media agency for the animated movies, etc., where they put green screen, face masks, etc., to change. Other than that, the fraudsters are the only ones who use this. So there are only two main users of deepfakes. For the last, like when this ChatGPT, etc., were launched, they have made it more accessible for people to use. So instead of using for good, some people might use it to like make fraudulent documents, fraudulent face, etc. Let me give you two basic examples of deepfakes and frauds. So first one is that what the people do is that they forge documents. They will create a fake Aadhaar card, they will create a fake driving license, they will create a fake PAN. Another is they will create their fake faces, etc. So what happens is that like we verify either using the government documents or using the face of the person, and a combination of both. If, for example, a person X comes, he has forged a document, he has changed the images, etc. there, and then he has forged his face as well. Using this AI text, etc., they do a liveness, etc. So he will be able to easily bypass any old banking system, old liveness, etc. So what we have to do is that when we are like verifying all these fraudulent documents, face masks, etc., what we basically do is that first we verify these against with the government databases. So our government has been like supportive to us since like 2016 25. They have made all their records public, etc., which help us to verify with them. Along with that, what we do is that we take the user consent, we take the OTPs, we check other extra parameters as well. Other than the ID, the person provides a mobile number as well, he provides the email ID, etc. So we check using public databases like the MNRL record we have, then email databases are there. So what we do is that we do a complete deep research of that particular person. So he might be able to forge a particular document, but he will not be able to forge that data in the government database. So that is one catch point where we check like, okay, this is a fraud. Second is that we do a deep dive, like whether this is a number fraudulent, how long it has been active, whether it is registered with few other services like the gas connections, whether it is active on other platforms, whether it's registered with the departments or not, whether it is in the AML series list, whether it is in MRA list. That is a second checkpoint. Third is that over the years, like one of our main points has been the face liveliness, face match. Since the start's inception for the 6 years, we have this solution and we have been actively improving it. So before the deepfake, etc., they were live in the market. Before even that 3-4 years, we have been training our models on AI generated models, etc. So our face match or face liveness can easily detect whether it is a forged face, whether it is a forged liveness system. So we have a solution known as unassisted video KYC that can be individually used. So that is an AI assisted video KYC journey. It will randomly ask the user to pronounce few alphabets. It will ask us to verify like by turning out to the faces, etc. So what happens is that you might be able to create a new model that is able to do all that. But what happens is that when these AI models, etc., they break at some particular point, and those are the milliseconds where our model catches that this is a deep fake, etc., and we are able to stop that there. So that's my take on the deep fakes, etc.
This is particularly AI versus AI.
Yes, it's an AI versus AI. So actually, like if you see like virus antivirus game, Chor Police game, something like this, AI versus AI. Few people use like tools which are meant to protect people. They can be used to harm people as well. So the same thing applies here as well.
So coming to the integration part, so how do Surepass integrate the APIs into the existing system of the businesses?
Okay, so now coming to the integrations, we provide multiple solutions to the
Yeah.
people. First thing what we do is that we provide them a dashboard. The main thing is that few people, when they come, they're very small, so they might not be able to have that bandwidth to integrate our APIs directly into their system. To ease the onboarding and to ease the verifying process for them, we provide our dashboard. We give you a full-fledged dashboard where your team, and even if you have a team of 100 people or 1,000 people, we create like tenants for them, so the admin can oversee what all everyone is verifying, etc. It creates a detailed report, and you don't have to even integrate it there. You can directly get started with Surepass. Your team can come there, log in, and start using. Just like Gmail, we use Gmail to send out emails. So similarly, Surepass dashboard is used. Uh, Team is created there, and login IDs are circulated with everyone. A completely secure 2FA protected platform is there, so they can come there. They don't even have to integrate, and they can start using it. That is the first thing. Second is APIs. For example, you are a secured bank or an NBFC or a telecom, etc. You want to directly integrate. Instead of using a dashboard, you want to automate the process. When the person comes, he enters the mobile number, you want to send out an OTP, verify it. You want to verify their PAN, any other IDs, etc. The person directly enters there. For that, we give you APIs. The main agenda of giving out APIs is that the end person, the NBFC or the bank, will have the full control over it. They can create their own UI. They can place it anywhere in the app they want to. If they want on the first screen, they can put it on the first screen. They can control the number of retries. They can control the timeouts, etc. Everything can be controlled by the end user. So that is the second. Third is we provide SDKs. When it comes to SDKs, there are Android SDKs, iOS, web SDKs, etc. We provide all of them. So the best part about this is that these SDKs can be easily edited. So easily editable is that you can add your own logo. You can add your own font. You can add your own color scheme. And the powered by Surepass, secured by Surepass, you can put your own logo. So one such like SDK is being currently used across 1,000 clients who have all integrated that particular SDK in their app. So when the person comes and clicks on verify, he is redirected internally to our SDK. But they don't even realize that they have been redirected to a different page because of the like easily editable SDK. They can easily blend it into their own ecosystem. So that is the third thing that we provide for integration. Now, when it comes to major enterprise clients, let's talk about banks here, which are completely regulated by RBI. These people can use any of these three, but due to regulations, etc., they require the most prominent, that is the on-premise solution. So here the thing is that in APIs, SDK, etc., they are cloud-based. We retain all the data, we like processing, etc. It is done on the clouds, etc. So they have issues like will Surepass not retain the data? Will they comply with the DPDP, etc. So first point is that we have a zero data retention policy. We do not store any data, but still they might be having doubts. The compliance might not give ahead. So they require the fourth and the most important, that is the on-premise solution. So currently SIDBI, SIDBI, that is the largest MSME bank out there, they use Surepass solutions on-premise. Each and every Aadhaar that is being verified and masked in India by SIDBI is done by Surepass solution. We have given them an on-premise solution where they verify it and mask it and keep it. All the data is on the servers of their own like premise. Like it can be their cloud, it can be their physical servers, etc. So it is with them. So these are the four kind of integration that we provide.
So basically, it is all about majorly setting branding, right? If we talk about that, you are giving APIs and they can easily integrate into their system with their own branding.
Yes.
So this is the biggest feature if we talk about.
They have full control in the APIs, branding, etc. They want to send, they can set up in a SDK, etc. If you talk about compliance, you can do in on-premise. We have all the solution. Whatever the business needs, we can provide.
Yeah. Also, right now you mentioned about DPDP. So this is also becoming famous in news nowadays.
Yeah.
So so this is also controlling industry somehow. So would you like to tell us more about this thing, and so that businesses could know more about it? Right?
Sure. So DPDP, if people know about GDPR, it is a part of that only, you can say. Outside India, it was known as GDPR first implemented by EU countries, etc.
Yeah.
So when it comes to data protections, it comes to security, etc., EU is the standard. They have even like forced iPhone to put in Type C and replace their old chargers. So they are the like the epitome of security and standardization, etc., data protection, everything. So like this should have been in India like over the years, like past years, 5-10 years, but recently they have implemented it. They have passed an ordinance and should be implemented in next 1.5-2 years. Majorly, if in single line I want to say what is DPDP. DPDP is the like compliance put up by the Indian government to protect us, to protect your data, my data, our team's data. So what they basically do is that the end user can share the data with the business or a bank or anyone, and it is the duty of that bank or that business to protect that data. Earlier what you used to do is that, for example, I came on an XYZ platform of yours or some other ABC platform. I go there, enter my mobile number, name, etc. These guys, like what they do is that they keep on selling this data to XYZ people, and I keep on receiving random calls. My data is being floating around internet without my consent, etc. So what this will do is that it will force the business who's taking the information to secure that data, not to sell that data, not to be misused by anyone else. So basically, protection of our data is DPDP.
Yeah. Also, if we come to the security part, which plays a major role in this sector, so what are the security measure which SurePass follows?
Okay, so in the security, the first thing is that when a big company, a bank, they come to us, they ask us to provide the security measures that we follow. For that, what we have done is that we have the ISO 27001, 27017 and 18 audits, and we are SOC2 type 2 compliant as well. This is the most stringent security protocol out there in the industry as of now. It just falls short of PCI DSS, which doesn't apply to us because we are not a payment processor. So PCI applies only to the payment processor. You can talk about Paytm, MobiKwik, etc. They are us. We are a security company. You can also say like we are preventing frauds, etc. To us, our main responsibility is to preserve the data which we are verifying. For example, you are end customer and you came to a bank. That bank uses us to verify it. So when the data comes from you to the bank, then from bank to SurePass, then back from SurePass to bank, we have to encrypt all that data. We have to make sure all that data is safe in rest as well as in motion. So for all that, we have put up like ES256 encryptions. We have a TLS 1.3 in place, and we have and for all the APIs 250 that I have mentioned till now, each and every API goes through a VAPT, the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, every 6 months. We don't even like relax for 7 months or a year. So what basically the standard is there, though you can get it once in a year. But what we do at SurePass is that we get a VAPT by a certain empanel vendor every 6 months for each and every API and get our certificates renewed. So when it comes to security, we are completely covered. And to top all of that, we don't even retain any data. When you verify a particular XYZ person, we just verify, yes, it is valid, it is invalid, and we just purge all that data.
Okay. Coming to another section, when we talk about WhatsApp KYC, which is also gaining a lot of traction. So can you tell us how SurePass is using WhatsApp for verification?
Okay, so WhatsApp is just another channel of communication. So like email, like SMS, now WhatsApp is being used heavily. We have started getting a lot of spams on email. We have started getting a lot of SMS. WhatsApp will also be out like into the same range of spam, but currently it is less crowded. So what WhatsApp KYC generally does is that when a person is on an XYZ platform and he drops off, SurePass helps you to get back that client using WhatsApp. For example, I was on an ABC app. I completed my KYC, 3 steps of the 7-step KYC and dropped off. So our system will automatically detect that IA has dropped off and it will start from the 4th step on WhatsApp itself. When we are talking about WhatsApp KYC, the first question that we get from regulated entities, etc., like the mutual fund and banks, NBFC, is that is it compliant? Yes, it is completely compliant. You can Google the Meta WhatsApp Cloud API certification. You will get the SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3, ISO 27001, even PCI DSS, etc. Because they are into payments. So it is completely secure infrastructure.
Okay.
We even had meetings with regulated entities who govern all these banks, NBFCs, etc. And we had a direct conversation with them before even starting working on WhatsApp KYC, that we are building this XYZ solution which runs on WhatsApp and helps you do the KYC. Is that a security concern? Is it compliant or not? And we got an approval from all the entities out there who majorly regulate these banks and websites, saying that this is just a mode of verification. Even like if you go through the guidelines of SEBI, RBI, etc., you will clearly see they have created guidelines around verification of the person. The mode of verification, the platform is not defined. It can be an app, it can be a website, it can be WhatsApp as well, because it's just a channel, it's just a platform. So there is no there's no restriction around using WhatsApp KYC, a completely compliant solution. And it is being even currently used by 10 plus companies in regulated entities as well, all powered by Surepass.
So businesses are always made sure that their data is always compliant and fully secured.
Yeah. So WhatsApp KYC, anyways, like even if you and me we are not a business, we are end customers. Our chats are also encrypted.
Yeah.
It's a two-way encryption, right?
Yeah.
On WhatsApp. So there also the encryption, etc. is there.
So when handling the data, majorly consent is the major key which plays the role. So how does Surepass ensure that the consent is fully managed?
Okay, so like earlier you asked about DPDP as well, right? So consent is also part of our DPDP now. So we provide a consent management solution as well. We were one of the industry first who provided that and launched this solution. Talking about the consent, we even asked about DPDP earlier. So consent is a part of DPDP itself. So we have to manage the consent of the end user as per DPDP. So Surepass was actually one of the industry first who launched the consent management platform as well.
Okay.
We even have few insurance players as of now who went live with the this consent management few months back and are actively managing the consent. The consent can be of multiple types. It can be a checkbox, it can be an OTP, it can be a video KYC as well. So what currently we do is that we provide all these three and are actively live. So in few businesses, it's just an OTP can be considered as an consent. In few others, when we are buying out policies, when we are buying out a very expensive solution, there what happens is that since the ticket size is so high, the person might back off later on. In case of insurances, it happens a lot. So even IRDI has mandated that you require a consent from the person. So what our clients are now doing is that they use our unassisted unassisted video KYC that is being powered by AI to record a consent video of a person. For example, I buy an insurance from an XYZ provider. I will record a video. I, Abhishek Kumar, resident of this address, son of this person, DUB is this. I want to buy this particular insurance from this provider, and whatever the consent statement they can give. So that is preserved till the insurance policy is there. So these are the kind of consents out there. This is how you can record the consent. For this, what we do is that we give you a full dashboard at the backend as well. So you can accept the consent via an API. You can like give a particular link to an end user. So best part about unassisted video KYC is that we even have the latitude, longitude, face match, etc. incorporated there. So someone else cannot fake a consent as well. So the face match that we were talking about, dedupe, etc. This happens in this as well. And at the back end to the team, we have given a full-fledged dashboard. An admin is there, a sub-admin is there, the agents are there. They can manage what all consents have been taken and who all have given the consent. If the person has to resubmit a consent, they can re-trigger a reconsent request. All of that is there. And the best part is that when a person gives you a consent, currently there is a no validity, etc. as well. For example, I give you my details. And it's just I give you my details. It is up to you what you want to do, till how long you want to preserve my data, etc. So we have implemented a time constraint in our consent management as well. So the company can set up like they want to retain the data for 60 days, keep this consent for next 6 months, this consent for 2 years, even they can manage that. And for example, it was a high ticket price and the consent initially was 6 months.
Okay.
At the end of the 5 months, if they want to retain the data more, if they want to like do anything with the data or like resell the policy to the end customer, what did they, they can re-trigger a reconsent request, and the person can give the consent again. All that from the single dashboard that we provide.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this is basically it's a right of the user.
Yes.
Yeah.
As per DPDP, it is the right of the end user
Yeah.
to know where my data is being used.
Exactly.
To know like whether my data is preserved with the XYZ business or the entity to whom I am giving. So all that, like, it's a birthright, you can say now.
Exactly. So another question which arises in my mind was when you talked about video KYC. So if you talk about like if a person is staying outside India and then he tries to complete his video KYC, so do you provide a solution for that, or like what is it?
So the video KYC is a global solution. It can
Okay.
be used in India, it can be used in US, it can be used in Egypt, wherever you want to use. So we even have global clients, more than 100 global clients who are currently using our video KYC solution. So it actually depends upon the business. For example, I'm a crypto business. I'm a boundary neutral platform. So even if I'm an NRI living in US, and so there also I can do the video KYC. For example, another use case, let me give. For example, I go to Dubai and there my visa is getting expired.
Okay.
And I use some XYZ platform that helps me renew my visa. And they require a consent through video KYC, or they require video KYC. So there also, in Dubai also it will work. Because the person is sitting there and it is like geography neutral solution. It can be used anywhere. The solution can be used. Now it is up to the business whether they want to approve that or not. For example, there are solutions that are provided by banks and mutual fund investment, and there are few others who are localized completely. So they do the video KYC and the location is treated as US or Dubai, etc. They can take the exact measure that they need to do to make that this person is compliant. Okay, the person is sitting outside the country, but does he fulfill all these 10 steps which help them verify, like, yes, whether he's a legit person or not? All this so can be used outside, but the end discretion is with the business or the bank or the NBFC whether they want to approve it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than video KYC, would you like us to know that what are the other products that you are giving?
Sure. So, like as I mentioned earlier, we have 250 APIs. Depends upon the business what you want to use. So currently, what happens is that in our industry and everything, everyone is focusing either on the banks or the top like startups who have raised millions, etc. We are a startup friendly company, so we are providing solutions across all the industries. If you are a bank, we give you on-premise solutions of the ID verification of the end user and of the companies as well. If you want to open an account for the individual, we give you APIs for that. If you want to open a bank account for a company, we help you verify that.
Okay.
If you are a delivery company, then you want to verify your drivers. We help you verify their driving license. We help you verify their vehicle that is owned by them. We help you verify their bank account details, their PAN details, so that you can make the payouts. These are the two different examples. Then we come to loan. If you want to take loan, multiple type of loan. Home loan, we help you verify whether the person owns that particular home or not. If you want to take a loan on a particular land, we have land record verification APIs that can be used by you to verify whether the person owns this particular land or not. Then you can take a loan on an asset. Asset can be an a vehicle, four-wheeler, two-wheeler, a truck or a tractor. So we have 10 plus clients who actually use Surepass to lend out loans to farmers based upon their land, based upon whether they are a kisan or not, whether they own a tractor or not, all these parameters. So we provide services for that as well. Then if you move to the crypto and the gaming, there the laws are more stringent. So we help them verify there as well, their Aadhaar through DigiLockers. Other than that, if you want to verify their PAN, bank account details, etc., we help them as well. All these are about verification. Moving ahead to compliance.
Yeah.
If I am onboarding you, I need to have an agreement with you. So for that, we have e-sign. The e-sign, we have the Aadhaar based e-sign. We have our Sure sign where we take the OTP. It has the face match. It has the geotagging, SMS verification, email verification, IP address check. We have all these parameters at the back end of each of the e-signing. One thing that we currently provide that none of our competitors is being actively using is the face-based e-sign. So this
Okay.
was launched last year, and this was launched for the people who face issues with the biometric, the thumb one, or the OTP or the iris. The issue is that when you go to tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 India, there the ammas, then the dadas, they are working very hard. Their biometrics are gone. Like if you check out their thumbs, these are completely
Yeah.
clean. You will not be able to take a fingerprint. मोतियाबिंद हो चुका है उनके आंखें किसी के एक ही नहीं बची. It can be anything.
Yeah.
And the tools, the iris scanner 10 to 12,000, the Mintra Morpho device is 2,500, 3,000. These are expensive for the companies who are providing services to them. So for that, the face authentication was launched, and currently we have 20 plus companies who are actively using face match, and we even have an NBFC with a book size of more than 15,000 crores who are distributing more than 2 lakh loans every month using this face based e-sign and authentication, etc.
So how do you make sure that the person in the video is real or not? Like, what are the tool you use for that?
So we mentioned the AI-based video KYC one. That
Yeah.
So that we do on our end, and if it is approved, yes, whether it is a live person, then the same data is being used by UDI at the backend as well. Our e-sign, etc. The process is being powered by Protean. We have Protean-based e-sign, Aadhaar e-sign, where the actual authentication is being made by UDI at the backend. They verify whether it is the same person who is in the Aadhaar database or not. They are the ones who verify. Yeah.
Okay. So in whole session, like we learned about compliance and a lot.
Yeah.
So when we talk about regulatory bodies, like there are a lot, SEBI and RBI, UIDAI. So they set new standards and new rules like every new other day. So we get to know about like new rule is coming. So how do you make sure that you are setting standards according to the new policies and the new rules which are coming up?
So as I mentioned, we have been here in the industry for the last 6 years. So what happens is that whenever a new rule comes, it is not like one day RBI wakes up and he said like, "Aaj se nahi naya rule." This is not how it works. So what happens is that first letters are prepared. Regulatory bodies they launch new notices. They ask the general public to reply like, "This is something that we are thinking about. What are your thoughts?" In the DPDP also, the DPDP, the ordinance, etc. has been for the last 2 years in the public. Like, this is something that we guys are working on. What are your thoughts? Then the general public gave out their replies, etc. On top of that, they tweaked their policies, etc. And then they will launch it now. They will enforce it slowly every month. So whenever these new norms come, there are always incidences before that, and there are always public notices, ordinances, and these regulatory, may it be RBI, IRDAI, SEBI, they always ask the general public to get back to them. So whenever they notify, we always go through each and every of these notices and etc. And we then get started with the research. For example, DPDP, when it was initially there, it was a single page document. And what we did was we went through it and started creating our own papers around it, like how well it can be generalized, what all solution can be built on top of that, whether a solution will even actually be scalable or not, like that. So what we have to do is that we have to keep on doing our own research. Other than that, there's one more thing that we have to keep on monitoring: the number of frauds and the type of frauds that are currently going on, because these norms, etc., they are built to reduce the frauds. What are the frauds currently going on? To reduce those, for example, the DPDP was in a dire need because people were selling out data relentlessly in the China loan, etc. If you have heard of 2020, people are selling out data to the Chinese apps. They were calling, giving out loans, then harassing people, etc. After that, this came into place. So we keep a strict check on all these regulatory bodies. At the same time, we keep a check on what kind of frauds, etc. are going on. And this is how we are able to keep up with these regulatory bodies.
I think this is one of the most major factor which plays a role, because in rural areas, like, people are uneducated. And they don't even know that where their data is getting used, like where their critical information is getting used. So I think this is one of the major factors which plays a role.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's all, Abhishek sir.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being a part of this podcast.
Pleasure is mine. We are able to share all this information to the public.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, that was such an amazing conversation. Thanks to Mr. Abhishek Kumar for sharing his insights on fraud prevention, identity verification, and fintech.